Hello everyone, this is Bobbin Threadbare and welcome back to Thi4f.
I'm Canon Zombie.
This is a very long elevator ride.
And I'm Random Ninja.
Whoa, you're two people? Whoa.
Well, one of us is a long elevator ride.
Oh,
Each
well.
city built upon the bones of the last. If these
I don't think
stones
that's
could
how
tell their
cities work.
stories, I wonder what they'd say.
Depends on the city.
Yeah, especially not with the whole bottomless pit thing.
Yeah.
Generally don't find those underneath cities. They make for unsteady foundations, I find.
Also, they don't exist because nothing can be bottomless. It can be very deep, but not bottomless.
And now the elevator noises are back. They were gone for a while, but now they are back.
The elevator ride was so long it fell asleep.
Them building the city on top of a giant pit would explain why they've needed to rebuild the city like 12 times at this point.
Hey look, a number of people that the game can't actually process at once.
I noticed that. They tend to get a little janky.
Yeah, even just seeing them walk down the street like that, it gets a little janky, but I'm talking about like the number of individual, AIs running around. Like the game literally cannot handle that many people on a single map.
That's probably why the elevator keeps stopping. Alright.
The way those people were walking reminded me of Manos, the Hands of Fate, and Torgo.
The Graven's procession is moving slowly. That should give me time to climb back up.
Wait, if you need to climb up, why did you go so far down in the first place? That elevator wasn't moving that quickly, Garrett. Could have chosen any time.
Hey look, it's something that we've only just discovered we can do.
Shimmy down?
Rappel.
That's probably because it's never come up in any of the other levels.
And it never will again.
Hooray!
Well, unless you jump back up there, which you can't.
Nope.
Despite it more or less being a grappling hook, and people can throw grappling hooks.
Yeah, it's just that Garrett, unless he is actively climbing on those uncharted walls, Garrett does not like using the rope part of his claw.
Boy, I wonder if that's a trap. Yeah,
Hmm.
that was a trap. That was very obviously a trap.
Actually, now that I think about it, that might be what they replaced rope arrows with.
The uncharted walls?
No, the grappling hook aspect of the claw. Like, that's what you were supposed to use on those particular posts.
Maybe.
But the fans insisted that rope arrows had to be a thing. Where the hell does that lead? Ah, back where I came. And so they replaced the grappling hook aspect of the claw with rope arrows.
That sounds plausible.
Stupid enough to make sense.
See, this is why fans suck. This is why a lot of AAA games suck so much, because the fans want everything, and when they don't get it, they cry. And
To be fair, we're also talking about a very weak-willed development group here.
well, developers kind of have to be. Let's take another example. Mass Effect 3. The ending. Fans cried, and I cried, because I was one of those people that hated the ending, and they changed the endings.
Yeah, because the ending was garbage.
The ending was garbage, but at first they were all like, oh, artistic integrity, and you're entitled, and blah, 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 and then they changed it, because they realized that they were just pissing off their fans. And that's stupid.
Also because it sucked. Like
Yes.
I keep saying, it's not a matter of, being bad or good. It's a matter of running out of time and therefore being bad.
Well, we don't know that they ran out of time. They might have.
Looking at that ending, I'm pretty sure it is.
They were working for EA, they ran out of time. Because EA is horrible when it comes to meeting deadlines.
Also, by the way, I'm backtracking here because I realized that the path I was taking leads to progress, while this path does not.
This path leads to collectibles.
Scissors.
And scissors. Jinx, you owe me a book. Did you ever play that game? The Jinx game? You owe me a blank?
Yeah, but our version is you cannot speak if you have been jinxed.
Yeah, that's the version I played.
Ours was you had to buy the person a thing if you spoke.
Yeah.
Basically the same thing, it's just we got...
Well...
Alright, Garrett. You got legs, use them.
So, yeah, I left that one in because it was hilarious and stupid.
It was pretty funny.
Fucking Garrett.
Alright, let's try that again. I mean, we didn't actually lose that much progress. Most of it was me just sort of dicking around because I didn't know where everything was. So, you know, I can just,
You forgot those scissors, though. That's 3 gold we're never gonna get again.
Well, it's on the other side from where I am right now. I can go get them after we're doing... Uh-oh. And I left that one in because it was also hilarious.
Poppin, you're killing me. And Garrett.
Oh, God. Maybe if Garrett used his legs to walk instead of flail about randomly in a fashion buffet. Hey, you got the scissors this time. Good job.
Yeah. So what is supposed to happen here is that Garrett is supposed to, you know, let go of this wheel, and then that little, you know, platform bridge thing is supposed to go up. You know, return back to the original setting. But for some reason, it was not moving up because I had brought it all the way down, I guess. Which meant I kept missing the jump.
Hey, look, Gollum. Where did it go?
That's a good question. It's probably not a Gollum, it's probably Aaron.
No, that was Gollum.
Oh, that was Gollum? Oh.
That was absolutely Gollum.
And somehow he fit in between these wooden slats. And that is the last unique item in the game.
A hammerite thing.
Probably from one of the first games.
Nope.
No.
It's just some
completely unique.
weird hammer symbol on a, you know...
On a plaque thing. Majigger.
On a weirdly shaped stone. I mean, usually they make those things out of gold.
Usually, yeah.
And they are just the hammers and not a symbol of a hammer on a trapezoid.
Yeah.
Well, the developers would disagree with you there, Bobbin.
Well, obviously they need to put a rope arrow in it then.
God knows, one of the developers is watching this and they'll realize they made a grave mistake and they'll release a patch tomorrow. And that patch will fix that. It'll just be a gold hammer.
Of a rope arrow. A gold rope arrow.
Yeah. They'll add a 10th unique collectible.
It's impractical, but looks nice.
And Garrett won't sell it.
No, you will not.
Did anybody else hear yodeling?
Yeah,
I heard
that was Gollum going the Gollum noise.
Yep.
They yodel?
Yes.
It's really not scary noise for the abominations, as apparently they're called.
I thought they were called freaks, though?
Those guys just said abominations. I don't know if they were talking about Garrett or Gollum or what.
Yes.
I mean, Garrett is an abomination. Just look at that hand. It's still bleeding.
What's under the...
Ah,
what?
crap.
That was a trap.
Yeah, well, it's my fault for not seeing the little button, but then it's also their fault for not actually locking this thing and giving me the chance to see it.
Wonder what that other item is.
It is something I am full up on.
Yeah.
Probably a blunt arrow.
No need for it.
Gotta get that blunt arrow.
Could be a flash mine. Flash bomb, I mean. They don't have mines in this game.
Mine?
Oh, he saw you.
Ah, crap. Well, luckily he can't see me from here.
And remember, Garrett doesn't kill.
Seriously, he cannot see me from here.
You're invisible. Despite being brightly lit.
Well, I'm
Invisible.
not brightly lit, but somehow I broke eye contact with him because of that, the railing there.
And now he's dead.
Called it. You'll recall, I said I called that, like, 45 seconds ago.
Yeah, with the whole ironic Garrett doesn't kill thing again.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I said it before you killed him. Because I knew he would be annoying and you'd just kill him. Well, he saw you.
Oh, I was really, really hoping you would hit him into the pit and he would fall to his death.
Could you have thrown him off?
So I can pick him up and throw him off now.
Yeah!
You don't, because you're not playing right now.
You're right, so I don't exactly do requests.
So I was just more asking if you could have.
Or if I do request, it's because you're prescient and not me.
Boop.
Knock that guy out on the glass. Face first.
Well, he was dead already, so...
He wasn't dead yet. He only got knocked out.
Yeah,
He got hit in the face with a cudgel.
we've been over this.
Let's see how your brain likes it.
That's survivable.
We've been over
Is
this.
it?
We've been over this one. It's dead.
Yeah, it's...
Yeah, he's dead.
The joke is dead whether or not he is. So let's drop it.
Drop it like that corpse. I mean person.
And here we are back at the beginning of this area here.
So another area with 2 ways to go up.
Yeah.
Neat.
Well, entirely.
I feel like this way is the least annoying one.
Entirely linear ways to go up, but no, actually, both of them sort of have their advantages and disadvantages.
This one has a cave.
Technically, they all have a cave. This is a cave.
We're in a cave.
No, this is a pit. It's just a pit underground. Is it still called a cave if it's already in a cave?
I am going to say that spelunkers probably have a very specific word for it,
Yeah, probably.
because that's what happens.
Do we know any spelunk... Alright, you walked through that rope there. Do we know any spelunkers?
Spelunkers, please tell us what a cave inside of a cave would be called.
If that even exists or if it's all just one cave.
Yeah.
Because for all I know, it could just be a cave, and we're idiots for thinking that there could even be a cave inside of a cave.
Well, the reason that jargon exists is because people who have to deal with a lot of very specific problems have to create a vocabulary that explains exactly what those problems are.
Like cave systems, or water systems.
Right.
Water systems are actually very confusing. There's a lot of different kinds. Breakwater, black water, murk water, salt water.
Hey, interesting. This guy has tried every combination between 000 and 672. He is never going to go for the next highest number. He is not going to add a single 1 to 672. So I wonder what the combination on that safe could possibly be.
Did it actually say he's not going to add another single digit?
Yes.
Wow. So that's a little heavy-handed, I would think.
Yes. That's why I was being heavy-handed just now.
Yeah.
And somehow it is full of bonds which are still accepted at the banks on the surface.
Well, actually, it's the fence that's giving you that money instantly, magically. I'm pretty sure I've said this, but I'm pretty sure Garrett just does the whole Pawn Stars thing and goes, this is worth this much money. Insert arbitrary amount of money here, regardless of what it actually sells for.
Well, I just think it's funny that considering everything else he steals is, precious metals, apparently bond notes from an ancient dead city are still good at your local bank.
I never thought of it that way.
What was that jump point? Where did it lead?
Led here.
Well, yeah, no, but I mean, there was a grapple point, and I just don't know how we would have gotten to it.
Jumping down and then jumping up from there.
Back. Ah.
I think I actually did that earlier.
Did you? No, you went into that small smuggler's cove inside the cave, inside the city, that is inside a hole, inside another city. This person's alive.
Not for much longer, I bet.
Why was a guard dying?
Why didn't you give him a high five? Why'd you leave him hanging?
He was killed by a
it was
golem.
Probably a golem.
Yep.
Yeah. Kind of clicked in once I saw that little hole in the ground.
Hey there, Jim Beam. Good to see you holding up the fort down here.
Alright, this one's the last one, though. Definitely the very final last one.
Definitely. No more loading screens after this. It's very impressive.
It's all continuous, all loaded at the same time.
Actually, I forget if Jim Beam shows up after this. I guess we'll find out together.
I really hope he does.
Yeah.
Just like in
We
these,
sound kind of stupid.
they've been changed by the primal, changed by.
I will not be editing
Stop
the entire
Orion
Spooky
quickly.
Scary Skeleton song over this particular scene. That was way too much work.
Maybe I can get two with one blow there. Oh, but they're walking away from each other, so...
Not anymore.
On the plus side, I have stalked the hell up on blast arrows here.
6 is not the hell up. Although there are only 3 of them, so...
Yeah, it is stalking the hell up when it's one shot, one kill. At least compared to, you know, fire arrows, which are 2 shots and 0.95 kills.
Nope. There you go.
There we go.
And one for good luck there.
Yeah, can't pick them up though. You only use them once.
Yeah, I wonder how how arrows would actually handle that in the real world. Because in Skyrim, you can pick up almost every single arrow. You shoot a dude, you get that arrow back. Like, you can hit a rock, you can pick that arrow back up.
Depends on your perks.
I wonder which one's more realistic.
Yeah, you can only get around like half of them back.
From dudes, yeah, but if you shoot nothing or you miss someone, you can pick that up, no matter what it hits. It could go into a tree, it could go into... It could bounce off a rock, it could hit stone.
Well, in real life, if you shoot something that can't absorb the energy, then it's usually the arrow that breaks.
Yes.
Like if you shoot a rock, it'll break, but if you shoot a tree, it won't.
Well, unless it's a really strong tree. That's a snake.
Yeah, it's the last mortal coil.
And her husband was the very first victim of the plague. Not the gloom, some other unrelated plague.
Yes.
Apparently there's a lot of plagues. The old ones didn't get their own name in the history books. They were just the plague.
Their health insurance is kind of shit in the city.
Oh, hey. There's one of the gloom walkers, freaks, golems.
Abominations, golems, pick a name, any name.
And there's also this, you know, oil puddle here. So if I can get him to move away from those bodies over there.
And come towards you so that he can become fire thing. Wow, that actually worked.
Yeah, so, yeah, because I only need one fire arrow if they're standing on a puddle of oil.
Ding dong, Avon calling.
Avon Barksdale?
Son of a bitch stopped just before the oil puddle.
Hey,
Get your ass over here.
come here, boy. Come here.
Okay, great. Now he's been alerted.
Oh, oops.
Well,
Well, on the plus side, he can't come into the light. Oh, wait, no, he can. He just doesn't want to.
Oh, I thought that them not coming into the light was like an established rule, and that the game just straight up ignored it.
is it not?
Well, no, it's kind of established the first time you encounter them that they do not like the light, but they can run through it if you are aggravating them.
I suppose shooting them with fire would be a little aggravating. I'd probably get kind of annoyed.
I would get a little miffed, yeah.
But yeah, that's why it hesitated giving me a chance to fire another couple of arrows.
Which all missed.
Yeah,
So,
there's that.
Bobbin, you're better at video games than this god.
But
that's it. Re-record. We're scrapping this.
funny thing, though, is that like an actual torch does damage to them if they run through it, but electric light does not.
Interesting.
That's because science.
No, that's legitimately interesting to me.
You know, it's probably just poorly programmed, right? You understand that. It's not a lore thing, I'm pretty sure.
Well, even if it is Lord, it's kind of arbitrary.
Well, there could be all sorts of reasons for it. None that I can think of.
Like, what makes electrical light and heat different than, you know, wood-based light and heat?
The actual flame itself?
Earth magic. Old magic. That's what it is. It's nature magic stuff. Keeper stuff. Yeah.
I remember that being a thing in Interview with a Vampire, that vampires could walk around perfectly fine in electrical light, but as soon as actual daylight broke out, they would just fucking turn to dust.
Well, that's explained with vampires via the whole ultraviolet thing.
Magic.
Also magic.
Yeah, depending on the setting, it's ultraviolet light or else it's, like, literally magic. It is literally the sun and nothing else. Even something that looks as bright as a sun would not matter. So I'm not going that way, it looks.
Nope.
What looks as bright as the sun, really, that isn't the sun, or a sun? Not going that way either, it would seem.
Sun lamps.
The city's rotten.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it takes like a crap load of energy, but they do make lights that are, you know, relatively similar to the brightness of a sun.
Why did that turn off?
It's intermittent.
Oh, okay. It's just both times we saw it, the fire was on, so...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not really sure how you're supposed to know that.
Well, you can hear it turning on and off.
Ah, that's... Who has ears? Jeez.
Plus, it's apparently the only way you can go without burning to death, so you basically have to step back and take a look at it.
You know, God forbid Gareth jumps or something, but...
Or ducks.
Yeah, well, it would still be hot, even if you ducked. That I can understand. The firing air, the poison darts, I guess? Or just darts? Those ones I don't really get so much, because that's, you know, it's tuck and roll.
Yeah.
Or slide. Do Battlefield Tactical Army slide. Hello.
Or one of those, you know, football crawl things they've got.
Yeah, Army crawl.
Okay, so by the way, the reason that there was that trap with the fire there is because they were keeping the gloom walkers out of the inhabited areas here.
Good job, Garrett. You've murdered everyone.
You ruined it all.
Well, I also murdered the gloom walkers, so, you know.
Well, there's always more abominations / gloomwalkers / golems / freaks.
And actually, there kind of aren't. This is a new thing. These are not like ancient monsters.
Well, they're arguably ancient.
No, they aren't.
They could have existed before.
They didn't.
You don't know that they didn't. Never. Ever.
Never, ever, ever.
Nope.
Only since, what's-her-face got invested with the primal.
I find that hard to believe. That this situation has never happened before with a magical MacGuffin.
Well, I always find the plot hard to believe.
Now, to be fair, there have been things kind of like them a little bit, but nothing exactly that.
Listen, there's been 6 cities built on top of each other. You would have to acknowledge that they've all been the same city because that orb has always existed, and so have the Keepers and the Hammerites. It's always been the same city, which means that orb has always been there. So you're telling me that orb has never, ever created Gloomwalkers, except for this one time?
Well, first of all, it's not an orb, and second of all, the Hammerites, the Pagans, and the Keepers are gone.
Right, but I'm assuming they always existed before that, much like the city. They were just sort of always there. Right?
Keepers most definitely, probably. I think the Keepers have been around I think the Keepers were around for a really long time.
Look, I don't want to debate series canon, because that implies that this is part of it.
True!
Well, it is.
True, and no, it's not.
It is, though.
You shut your whore mouth!
That's like saying Ghostbusters 2 doesn't exist, or Matrix Revolutions isn't part of the series.
Jim Beam.
Jim Beam.
Oh no!
Oh,
now
Jim
he's dead.
Beam! Jim Beam!
no! No!
He sacrificed himself so we could get through safely.
He will not be forgotten.
My question is, how did he always get ahead of us?
The most important character.
He held up all those flimsy tunnels. Just for us.
Okay, before we were doing this to save Aaron, but now it's fucking personal.
Yeah, really? I don't even remember Aaron, except... No, I don't really remember her at all.
Garrett, I'm slipping! That's how I remember her.
And you've played this twice. Now you've played it twice, because you finished this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Inside that rotunda, Orion is administering his cure. Aaron's close, I know it.
So why are we... I mean, Orion's a bad guy, sure, but he is curing people, right?
I'm going to bet that his cure is either just straight up murdering people with the gloom, or...
It's turning people into golems.
Oh, yeah, I was about to say. It was...
It's turning people into the walkers?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually not directly stated, but it's kind of implied. Because Garrett says you're doing something even worse to them than the gloom is. But that's about the extent of it that they explain.
To be fair, he could be doing like that cancer thing and injecting them with the AIDS virus, but not a mutated strain of the AIDS virus, so he's literally just giving them AIDS, but taking away the chicken pox.
Okay.
Okay.
That would be worse, I would think. We don't know how bad the gloom is, really. In comparison to, like, what is it, bubonic plague bad, or is it Spanish flu bad?
Well, it makes people crazy enough to harm themselves.
Yeah, people are crazy enough to do that anyways, and that's kind of insensitive. But, I mean, people hurt themselves all the friggin' time.
Well, we are talking about, like, bashing your head against a wall to get rid of the pain in your head. Because the pain you're inflicting upon yourself is literally less than the pain you're experiencing otherwise because of the gloom.
Alright, so that's cluster headaches, that's one symptom. I wonder what other symptoms we could figure out. What else do we know about it, Bobbin?
It makes people sick.
Cluster headaches, fever, nausea, probably diarrhea.
That guy has no peripheral.
Nope.
No, it's because of his hat.
Or maybe it's his scarf, actually.
Might be.
It could be his scarf.
I mean, Garrett's vision is kind of hazy at the corners, so maybe all these scarves just suck.
Yeah. And by the way, we are still underground.
Yes, we are.
Like,
Despite there being no cave roof.
no, there is a ceiling up there. I just looked up at it.
But how could it be underground? Because they built the city on top of the other city.
Apparently somebody came by and built a cavern over the old city.
How do you build a cavern
I don't
without
know.
supports? How does that work? Where are the retaining walls? The beams, the structures.
I don't know. By the way, Garrett talks about being alone, but it's actually, he's always been a team effort. I mean, there's Jim Beam, but there's one other guy who's always been in his corner.
The secret seller? Actually, this is the secret cavern. I can't think of a good pun for this one. Quick, help!
The secret cavern cellar?
Yeah, but that doesn't sound as good as secret seller.
Oh my god.
Well, otherwise you'd have to try for the secret cavern. And that just doesn't make sense. I mean...
Well, yeah, that's why I didn't say it.
But then again, it does make sense. Because he does not make sense. What the fuck? How did you get here?
Keep moving.
You know what? Guys, I seriously took this approach to this game a long time ago. In the famous words of Mystery Science Theater 3000, it's just a video game.
No,
Relax.
no, no. We can't just relax. We need to stay sane somehow.
Except the secret is that in order to make fun of the movies, the guys often pointed out all of the random fallacies.
So, I wonder, this game is... Well, it's heavily borrowing from other things. I wonder just how many sources someone with, let's say, an encyclopedic knowledge of video games and books and movies could figure out how much it's borrowing. Like, is any part of it an original thought? Or is it all just inspiration, shall we say?
Well, when you get down to it like that, you can pretty much say that every piece of media is not original. You could go like as far back as, God, probably even way earlier than Shakespeare and just be like, oh, well, this is just this, but with this instead.
Well, Shakespeare was a notorious borrower.
Yeah, actually the way I like to put it is that if you steal from one source, it's plagiarism. If you steal from a lot of sources, it's research. How did you see me, dude? Oh, whatever. But if you steal from every source, it's inspiration.
It's kind of like Dishonored. Dishonored, I don't think, has an original thought in its head, but it is still a really good game with a story that I enjoy.
Well, the story might be original.
And, you know, actual maps to be proud of.
Yeah, that too.
I mean, this game has had original thoughts. It's had interesting ideas. So it's not like all of it has been blatantly ripped off. Some of it is, well, not new, is different for the rest of the game. And that, I'd count that as an original thought for the game.
To be fair, I think it has also had at least one other original thought in this game. Because I have never ever seen another picture of a naked lady with a tiger's head before.
That's true.
At least not in a video game. So,
Although, actually,
No,
I've
never seen.
You know, there is a funny story about that. But in the very last mission, and I think the very last video, we are going to see the explanation for why there is a series of animal-headed portraits in the game. Like, it was directly inspired by something specific. Something that actually exists beyond the game.
Oh, neat.
that is pretty neat.
But we've got another 2 videos to go before I can, you know, point that out.
Yeah.
Nobody look it up. No spoilers.
Please, no spoilers. Not that we'll be able to see them before that, like us commenting on the videos, but other people.
No, we might, actually.
Come on. How long do you think we're gonna go between recording videos?
Honestly, I could probably stand for a year or 2.
Anyway, these guys are talking about how they were cured by Orion, and it's like being struck by lightning, but in a good way.
Something feels...
Do you think people... Is there like a getting struck by lightning fetish, do you think?
There's a fetish for everything, so of course.
What would they call it? Fulmophilia?
What? Are you trying to...
Fulmus, or fulminus, is Latin for lightning.
Really?
So, you know, fulmophilia.
What did you do?
What's the Latin word for electrocution or electricity?
God, don't ask me
Okay.
about the details.
Why do you know the Latin for lightning, but not for electricity?
Because one of the spells in the Dark Eye game, Shadows over Riva, one of the spells is Fulminus, and it casts a lightning bolt.
Unlike yours, this one's
Okay.
Oh, well, that at least that's a good explanation.
Yeah.
Alright.
I think I killed everybody just now. So...
No, that's impossible. Garrett doesn't kill.
You injured them. That's all you did.
Yeah.
They're wounded. It's a flesh wound.
Those arrows going through their heads, those are the novelty arrows.
And we already made that excuse for him.
I know, but I have to make it again because, remember, Garrett doesn't kill.
We're gonna walk past and they're gonna have the gonzo glasses and those
Yes,
headbands.
we made that joke already too.
More sawtooth arrows.
What are the two kinds of... There's sawtooth and broadhead, right?
Right.
Okay.
Sawtooth do more damage, except that, you know, even on Master, if you get them in the head, broadheads will kill.
Which is realistic, which is cool. Because chainmail did jack shit to stop arrows.
Yeah.
Especially really at close ranges. Only, I would assume if you're far enough away, chainmail might do something.
Well, actually, that depends on the curve, because, you know, sometimes gravity increases velocity.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point. But even still, if you're far enough away, the velocity will decrease enough that...
Like, I remember that was actually a trick by longbowers back in the day, is that they would...
Shoot up?
Yeah, they would fire one volley up, and then they would fire one volley straight, and so both of them would actually hit the enemy basically at the same time.
You know what I've heard? Longbows didn't exist. There were no, like, longbows and short bows. There was never really that distinction. It was just some people were taller than others and so used longer bows because their arm, and so on and so forth.
Well, the big distinction is actually between English longbows, which were stolen from Welsh longbows, versus the bows used by everywhere else in Europe.
Yeah. Because they're not, I mean, they're big bows, but they're not technically long bows as we would sort of picture them.
The biggest thing, actually, is the fact that composite bows meant not having to care, because they were small bows, but they were made out of, you know, advanced materials that could hold a lot more tension than plain wood, and thus fire an arrow at a significant velocity without having to, you know, get off the horse in order to draw it.
Yeah. Whereas the big bows, you had to be on your feet, and you had to plant your feet, and so on and so forth.
I had to get a squire or a page or whatever they called them to get all your arrows in order.
Yeah.
Aha! This is what I was looking for.
Now, what do we have here?
The last memory of the dead.
Gilbert, you stubborn fool.
That's kind of sweet, actually. Sad, but sweet. Especially since that ring got lost. Makes it extra sad.
I should go in with a plan. Well, here's one. Get inside, improvise.
That's not a plan!
Garrett, shut up. Shut up, Garrett. You can't do that joke. That only works when it's two people. One playing the straight man, one playing the fool.
Yeah, that's...
Yeah, it doesn't work when you're on your own.
I gotta admit, you're right about that.
Can't be your own straight man and your own fool at the same time. It doesn't work.
Anyway, it does at least indicate that beyond this door lies progress. Plot, specifically. Although, I think you're gonna be amazed at who's going to show up.
I wonder who it could be.
Today is the day we showed Baron Northcrest that people are the lifeblood of this city and are not to be ignored.
Isn't Baron Northcrest dead?
Yes,
Okay.
probably.
Gonna go with the Thief Taker General shows up right about now.
Your pains and fears are soon to be at an end, friends. This is a good day.
Now.
They've been cutting some blood off
The
of
power
Aaron
I
in order
give you
to
with
cure these
here
people.
shall repel any suffering affliction that may try to claim you. Once all have been anointed, we shall share this gift to the world. Beyond
How does she still have mascara on?
That's a good question.
Why did they dress her up in a white robe?
Well, you don't want her to be naked.
Why did we jump into this zone?
Are these supposed to be keepers?
No.
Though? No.
Uh,
Are you sure?
Well, if they are keepers, they're doing a terrible job of it.
they're doing a really shitty job of being keepers.
What are keepers supposed to be doing?
Not being in plain sight and
Not wearing white.
not wearing white. They wear something else. I forget.
They wear black. They wear normal clothes.
The colors could be inverted.
They look like normal people. Because they mostly are.
Oh yeah.
Isn't this a tableau?
Looks like he's about to slap a bitch. Keep the pimp hand strong, Orion.
Oh. No walking beyond that point.
Not quite sure what I'm supposed to be doing here.
I saw a glowy.
Oh, I need to grab his amulet.
Oh.
And then she grabs me, and that was pointless.
Okay.
Garrett!
So apparently now he's down there.
What have you done? I need that. We need that! Don't you understand
took
what
his
I'm trying to do here?
thing.
You need to stop.
How did nobody notice that? What actually happens when Garrett goes all funky?
Stop trying to give them a better life.
I don't
You're not helping
know.
these people. You're sentencing them to death. They may feel good now, but trust me, their bodies can't handle the
That
pressure.
sinking is really bad.
Yeah, that's the best clue you get, that they turn into golems.
Okay.
So she did nothing to the person holding her. Oh, there he is.
This one's mine.
Why the fuck is he here? How is he alive in the den? In the den of the Graven. This is the guy who was in charge of the guards, whom the Graven slaughtered. But he's here to be a boss fight because... fuck you.
You need a boss fight in a game. It's a video game. You need a boss fight. Not that, you know, ignored all the times when you never did a straight up boss fight in the original Two Thief games. They were always just really stealthy things. And if you got caught, you were pretty much instantly dead.
Also, I stole the stuff off of his belt there, and one of them was the last collectible of this map.
Dragging it out, Garrett.
Okay, so he knows where you are, and yet you can't. He doesn't look at you. He's not very smart.
No.
No.
But what he's doing is he's firing blast arrows, and those kill you in one shot, as you might expect.
But he's not hitting you.
Well, because now I'm in darkness.
Yeah, but yeah, whatever. You know what? That's okay. Yeah, you're in darkness. That's it. Garrett's invisible.
Yep.
That's why the Thief-Taker General sucks. He's a chameleon.
Yep. And by the way, there's an option here to either kill the Thief-Taker General or to ignore him and sneak out. And I thought about it. I figured, you know, either option could be kind of funny, but I figured, you know what? Let's stick with the hypocrisy and say that Garrett does not kill.
I tracked you across this city's coast.
He only kills the people who are annoying. So, you know, the guards, the Thief-Taker General. How come an arrow to the head doesn't kill this guy?
Well, it does significant damage, and you can actually, if you sneak up behind him, you do significant damage, but you do not take him out in one shot. That's what makes him a boss.
What?
Remember, Kalon, when you use focus to unlock a door, it does the Fallout New Vegas thing.
Oh. I didn't remember this.
Oh, I thought you were freaking out about the Thief-Taker guy.
No, I was freaking out because the fucking door unlock minigame changed on me.
Oh well. Yep, we left him alive because that was the stupidest option I could think of.
Garrett, you're so stupid.
Predator! Hooray!
Yay.
But remember, Garrett doesn't kill!
Well, that's knockouts.
Is a